Celtics have lost only one seventh-game home contest, that to the New York Knickerbockers. So Boston won the tip. Gerald Henderson filling in for Toney Archibald, out with a dislocated shoulder. Larry Bird, first shot of the game.
I think it's very important that the 76ers stay close the first half.
Maurice Cheeks, when he has been good, Philadelphia has won. When he has not been a factor, they have lost. It's as simple as that. Julius Erving to Bobby Jones, right of the key, tie score.
Because I think that if they get too far behind, they can't catch the Celtic team under these circumstances.
Cheeks is on Henderson, Toney on ML Carr. Caldwell Jones to guard Robert Parish. Julius Erving is watching Maxwell, and Bobby Jones on Bird, who gets in with a layup. Good execution. Larry Bird is not the leading scorer of this series for Boston, but he's leading him in just about every other category. Cheeks gets his own rebound, and Bobby Jones ties it up. And so very crisp play in the early minutes here.
Bobby Jones and Larry Bird have got all the points so far.
Larry Bird. Cheeks knocks it. Parish, another offensive rebound, and that's Boston's bread and butter, the offensive rebounds. And Parish, all he had to do was reach up over Mo Cheeks.
Well, actually, ML Carr kept the ball alive. He just knocked it loose. He couldn't get it, but he knocked it loose, and Parish came up with it.
Bobby Jones knocked away, picked off, intercepted by ML Carr. No break for Boston. It's 3-on-3. Carr, Parish. Bird, offensive rebound, just grabbed it away from Bobby Jones. Maxwell wins the fight. The Celtics are coming out aggressive, and they're going after the loose ball and winning the fight for the loose balls in just the opening 2 minutes of this game.
And I think you're going to see this kind of intensity for quite a while today.
Blocked by Julius Erving, but there's Maxwell, and he's fouled.
And he's keeping that ball alive.
The officials in today's game, Darryl Garrettson and Jack Madden, are on the floor, and Paul Mihalik is the alternate, sitting at the scorer's table.
Now the Sixers are going to have to do a better job on the rebounding. They're going to have to do a better job, as they're going to have to concentrate on that area and start to run.
Celtics already have 4 offensive rebounds in this game, as Maxwell, who's shooting 78% from the line in this series, misses the first. And he has tied Kevin McHale for the leadership in offensive boards in this series. 1 of 2. A little more than 2 minutes gone by. First quarter. Boston Garden, 76th consecutive sellout. Andrew Toney, he has to hit today for Philadelphia to have a chance, really.
And I look at Maurice Cheeks, and I look at his body language, and it looks like he may be ready for a pretty good game.
It's still Boston ball. Billy Cunningham, who is the picture of dismay and disappointment and dejection, looks a little fresher so far this afternoon. Parish double team, turned the ball over, and a foul call, as a matter of fact. It
Offensive.
Foul on Robert Parish, his first personal foul. So the 2 centers have the foul so far, Parish and Caldwell Jones. Bill Fitch looking to get a shot at a second straight world title. Bill Russell, the last coach to achieve it in 68-69. He's got to win this game to go against the Lakers to have the opportunity. Julius Erving. This is the bank shot, and Andrew Toney the rebound. He was 1 for 11 Friday night, and he is trapped, looking for help. Finds it in Bobby Jones, and is fouled inside. So Jones got free underneath after Toney looked like he couldn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, they had him double teamed. That was a good pass.
That is the first team foul in the ball game, or first on Boston. Philadelphia has 1, and the personal is on Maxwell. Jones, outstanding free throw shooter, 81% during the year, and 89%, and he now 17 for 19 in this series. Player that Bill Fitch worries about constantly, his ability on offense, transition game, and to get free. Pressure on Philadelphia here, picking him up early.
Philadelphia is doing the things that won 3 games for them. They pressure defense.
And Gets in the open man.
And they move without the ball better than they usually do. And Caldwell Jones got that one above the rim. That rebound was taken above the rim.
Leading defensive rebounder. Good pass. Bobby Jones couldn't handle it. And he stepped out of bounds. It was a fine pass from Andrew Toney, but Bobby Jones couldn't hold on.
There's the pass. A little too hard for Bobby Jones.
But he was wide open underneath. So you'll notice that Philadelphia will trap, and Boston's going to have to hit the outside shot.
Well, a couple of times they've missed assignments on the
jump ball
on Bobby Jones. He's gotten free because they've had a mix-up when they're supposed to switch. And what happens this time of the game, it's very difficult to talk early in the game. And that's the key to defense. You got to communicate with the other guys so they know who's to go where.
It was in game 2 that Boston had problems in communicating the switch, and that allowed Caldwell Jones to score 22 points. 8:31 remaining, first period. Philadelphia comes up with it. Caldwell Jones.
And these guys are getting a little testy.
Cheeks going in. And Mo Cheeks, who has to be aggressive offensively. He always is defensively for Philadelphia to succeed, has his first points. Parish, outside again, hits. Missed the last one. Robert Parish with 2 baskets.
Delay of game warning to Boston.
In other words, if you interfere with the ball when it comes off of the net, that could be a delay of game warning.
Right. So a lot of players would do that to keep that team from running a fast break, or so they can take their time and get back on defense.
Maurice Cheeks. Brilliant campaign for him, and he's kept it up in the playoffs. Caldwell Jones outside hits. He scored 22 points in that second game, and if he can hit when he's open outside, that's an extra bit of ammunition for Philadelphia, and they need all the offensive ammunition they can get. This is basically a defensive-oriented team. Maxwell baseline misses. Caldwell Jones clears. As Bill mentioned many times, the Sixers like to run, but they do it mostly off of steals.
And they are not usually a good rebounding team, but the last few times down, they made sure that Boston only got 1 shot off the board. When the game first started, Boston getting too many shots.
Caldwell Jones, the top defensive rebounder for Philadelphia. Larry Bird has been out of this world off the glass. He has 23 more defensive rebounds than Caldwell Jones, who leads Philadelphia. Julius can't score inside. He said in this game, he says, if I'm going to go down, I'm not going down passing the ball. He'll put it up. Henderson does right there. In and out, and a loose ball foul against the Celtics. And it's going to be against Larry Bird, his first person.
He kind of put a little body into Bobby Jones.
7-10 is Kevin McHale, who's been nothing sort of sensational coming off the bench for the Celtics, particularly on defense. 7 minutes remaining, first period. Caldwell Jones setting up on high. Toney gets loose away from Carr for the moment, and Andrew Toney with a looper from the baseline. Now remember, he's tough inside because he can bang it, and he has that great outside shot. That will be a foul on Bobby Jones. Basket will count, and Bobby Jones commits the foul on ML Carr. Could have gone either way.
Well, he hit ML on the elbow with his chin. And that's got to hurt a little bit.
So we have our first timeout in a game in which they're just getting underway. This is just the overture, my friends. 6:49 remaining in the first, a 3-point Philadelphia lead. How unpredictable has this series been? Celtics by 40, and then the Sixers win 3 in a row. There's been really only one tight game, and Boston blowing out Philadelphia, especially in that fourth quarter on Friday. The Sixers right now have started off on the right foot shooting. 6 for 9 from the field after shooting 34% in the last 2 games, Bill.
Well, I think they came a little prepared today. And as I said in the opening, the Sixers have won 3 games in this series. You know, like people would tend to forget that because of the way the last game finished.
You saw Kevin McHale in the ball game.
But every one of these games has been completely different. Even the ones that the teams have won have been different.
3-point play by ML Carr. That's true. We have not seen the same scenario from one game to another. 6:40 remaining in the first period, and Toney on his own falls out of bounds. He just slipped and lost the ball.
Let's see Andrew Toney. Let's see if we can see him here.
No one near him.
No one near him.
Celtics trailing by 2.
Back off, back off.
Biggest slide lead either club had was 5 by Philadelphia. Larry Bird ties the score. Larry Bird said, I know my shot will be there on Sunday. I'll drop it for you. I can guarantee you that. He's hit 3 of 5, and we have our tie. Our third tie of the ball game. Boston overplaying. No whistle yet. Andrew Toney, and now we have a illegal defense called against Kevin McHale, who was just standing under the basket. So that's a warning, and Bill Fitch has some words for Jack Madden. McHale was standing underneath the basket, no one guarding.
He sure was, and he'd been there for a while, too. Ever since Andrew Toney got trapped in the corner, he'd been standing there.
So the next time it'll be a technical against the Celtics. Carr against Toney. Henderson double teams. Caldwell Jones, no good, but Bobby Jones is there and a lot of red shirts for the offensive boards. This has developed into a half-court game. We have not had a fast break in this game. Cheeks sees Maxwell and Henderson doubling nicely. Into Caldwell Jones, tipped in by Bobby Jones. It wasn't a tip, he stuffed it in. So Bobby Jones off to a good start, has 8 of the Sixers' 16 points and a turnover. Gives Philadelphia the ball again. Bobby hasn't missed yet, 3 for 3. 5:35 remaining in the first period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell for the ultimate game of this series. Julius Erving off the mark. And his last touch by ML Carr. It's still Philadelphia ball. And it seems we always get to this point in this game, in this series between these teams, Bill.
It sure seems that way.
Toney. Parish on top of the rim, grabs it, but it wasn't over the rim. Good rebound by Robert. Bird pulls up. He's been hot so far, so is Caldwell Jones. He has been totally vicious off the defensive glass. Erving beating Andrew Toney. Over Bird, gets the bucket. Good aggressive play by Andrew Toney, who now is hit 3 of 4. He had 39 points in one game, 30 in another against the Celtics after that horrendous game, shooting 1 for 11 Friday night. Bird, there's no question, Bill, as we have a loose ball foul, the Celtics want Bird to get off early.
Yes, he's taking those shots, and he's getting himself free to take them. So far, he's not shooting that well.
Foul is on Kevin McHale, his first, and team foul for Boston, 3. Play called by Maurice Cheeks. He was 3rd in the league in assists, 2nd in steals, and leads both teams in those categories here. The basket will count by Toney, and a foul committed by the Celtics. Their 4th team foul, and this is on ML Carr. And getting off the bench to come in is Danny Ainge. Did not have a good shooting game Friday, but the former baseball player turned basketball performer hit a key basket late in the going when the Celtics needed it. Ainge forced to be the backup guard, or whether it's point guard or off guard, with Toney on the bench with an injury. Toney shooting. One shot. Philadelphia by 6. Make it 7.
They have taken control of this game so far.
7 straight points.
They started off a little slow, but they've taken control.
You know why? They're not letting the Celtics get second shots lately.
I think Caldwell Jones has been key in that on the defensive board.
Erving all over Bird. Parish double teamed by the guard, Bo Cheeks. Henderson lost it for the moment, picks it up alertly. Henderson in the corner. Gerald Henderson, who started 28 games after Archibald went out. Actually, he began last year as the point guard when Toney was hurt. 5-point Philadelphia lead, 4:05 to go. Bobby Jones, the leading scorer in the game, misses. And Henderson clears it in the corner. Here come the Celtics. They have not had a bona fide fast break yet. Bird, a fake on Bobby Jones, a foul on Maurice Cheeks. And Cheeks got hit in the process.
That's a couple guys Philadelphia. Cheeks and Bobby Jones both got a hit in the chin for their trouble.
That's the 3rd team foul on Philadelphia. Under 4 minutes to go, first period. This is the kind of game that will build. McHale drops for him. He gets good percentage shots, and that's why he thinks he should always shoot 50% from that range. Kevin McHale, who's averaged over 15 a game. Toney, basket, no, but the foul, yes. And it's on Ainge, his first personal foul, and the Celtics are in the penalty. Ainge got a technical last Sunday against Philadelphia
for holding his ears.
Darryl Dawkins, who has had some good scoring games coming off the bench. He started game 1, and Bobby Jones goes to the bench. Dawkins is the only 76er shooting above 50% of this series. But
they need a big game from him today.
Toney misses the free throw. Billy C. That'll be torture these last few hours before this game because he's been this way before, been to this spot before. Toney now with 10, the high score in the ball game. Jones on the bench with 8. And Dawkins is guarding Parish. Toney is on Ainge. As we said, Dawkins is guarding Parish. Henderson at the free throw line, and it goes.
And that's the shot you have to hit to exploit when they double team. You should try to get at least a free throw if you can out of it. A jump shot from the foul line. That's taking good advantage on that play with Gerald Henderson.
Double teaming Julius. They double team Toney in a foul. That's exactly what Boston wants to do. They figure that Erving and Toney are the 2 main guns for Philadelphia, and they will double team them every time they put the ball on the floor. Meanwhile, Gerald Henderson has picked up his first foul, so 6-7 different Celtics have 1 personal foul in the game.
And one thing about the Celtic defense, when they double team Toney and Julius Erving, Julius is a great passer, and so he's made the guys pay the price, so there's a little hesitation on double teaming him now. But Toney, they want to make sure that he is a good passer today.
Sometimes Andrew will hold the ball and you see 4 people standing around. That's what happened in Game 5 that hurt Philadelphia. 2 shots for Andrew. It's important that the 76ers get off to an early lead for their side because of the stigma of Friday night's collapse and also a cushion because Kevin McHale somehow gets the Celtics back in the thing. It's in the swing of things. Under 3 minutes to go, Henderson gets loose. And Dawkins the rebound. He has not averaged many rebounds, but then again in his career he hasn't done that.
Well, the way they play defense, it is hard for any player to average a lot of rebounds. Because the way they play defense out on the floor, that you're switching and picking up, and you run into picks and etc. It's not easy for a guy to accumulate a large number of rebounds, no matter how tall he is.
Bill C. Fitch, who got his start at Cole College in Des Moines, Iowa, and a 4-point lead for Philadelphia. Commissioner of the National Basketball Association, Lawrence O'Brien, who of course spent plenty of time up in New England when he worked for the late President John Kennedy.
He probably thinks this is an important game. He probably thinks it's going to be thrilling.
The ghosts of series past, you might call that. But keep in mind, 2 years ago, Philadelphia won in 5 games. Tiny Archibald has the sling off. And, of course, you know what he must be thinking. He'd love to do anything to get back in the lineup. And yesterday in practice, he was shooting with one hand. But at least he was back on the floor. 2:40 remaining in the first period. 4-point Philadelphia lead. They've held that lead through most of this period. Trapping defense, Maurice Cheeks hits outside. So Mo Cheeks, not a prolific scorer, averaging 13 a game and leading both teams in assists. 6-point lead. Henderson.
He's up to a good start today.
He is.
He got to a good start Friday night, actually.
We'll call a Philadelphia foul and maybe on Dawkins.
It was. He pushed Robert Parish, and then Robert Parish gave a little acting also. That's
look at Parish and Dawkins. Team foul 4 for Philadelphia. 1 more there in the penalty. Celtics already over the limit. Larry Bird, top of the key. Andrew Toney comes out of the pack. So Philadelphia running and now having to slow it up. Because both teams have gotten back on defense. Julius Erving called for the violation. Julius has not scored, has not picked up a rebound, and is 0 for 3 from the field. He got off to a hot start Friday night and then was cooled off. Mostly, I think, because of Boston's defense.
I think they'd like it better if he got off to a quick start.
That's something we'll only know when this game is over, as it turns out. I'd agree with you. McHale, with less than 2 minutes to go. Open inside. McHale facing the hoop. He likes to shoot from there, and Kevin McHale now has 4 points in the game. So 6 different Celtics are in the scoring column. 4-point Philadelphia lead, minute and a half to go in the first.
McHale has marvelous wrist. Marvelous wrist.
Caldwell Jones over Bird. That doesn't fall, but Erving is there for the rebound. Tipped up and in by Caldwell Jones. So there was Philadelphia at their offensive rebounding best.
Erving kept it alive.
He did.
And Caldwell capitalized.
Minute 10 to go, first period. Sixers shot the last 2 games, 33% in Game 5, 35% Friday in Game 6. Ainge is open. And he hits. There may be no denying Danny Ainge, particularly looking to next year. He's a man that wants to play and play a lot, and he's showing why in this series. Julius, double team, pass blocked, and Bird gets it to Ainge. Here he is. And a foul by Maurice Cheeks, and Ainge will go to the line. 5 team fouls on both sides, and the crowd appreciates the hustle of Ainge, but it was Bird who made the talk. Mike Banham in the ball game.
I think he played to get the foul, to try to get a three-point play, and when he was disappointed or disgusted, he's disgusting himself for not making that because he had planned for the three-point, I think.
And Bobby Jones back with Banham. Banham has lost his confidence shooting-wise. He had 2 hot games against Milwaukee, but can't hit a free throw or a field goal, it seems, so far in this series. And the Sixers, if they said their prayers this morning, they'd say maybe Mike Banham can have a good offensive game.
What do you mean if they said their prayers this morning? Just say when.
You could say that. Ainge with 4 points. Well-balanced scoring for the Celtics, with Bird leading with 6. 4 other players with 4. Long range, Andrew Toney with 14 points now in this first quarter. He's averaged 16 during the year. He's off through a 5 for 7 shooting. 15 on the shot clock. Bird underneath, too far underneath the basket. The 24-second clock went out because the Celtics had the ball and they had the rest of the time. And Cunningham says, what about the foul on Boston? So there's a foul on Philadelphia, and Robert Parish will go to the line. It's on Andrew Toney. The only player in the game with more than 1 personal foul is Maurice Cheeks. He has 2. Parish, 57% from the line, and that went down.
He rushed that one.
Clint Richardson coming in the ball game. He was a bit perturbed that he wasn't used much in the second half, but when he has rebounded well off the offensive board, the Sixers have been awfully tough. Cheeks goes out. That's the score, 3-point lead. Philadelphia playing perhaps for the final shot.
And you may have noticed that both teams have cranked up their half-court game because there's not going to be very many fast breaks. And that's what I mean. They're going to make sure, guys are going to try to make sure they don't make a lot of errors.
Toney missed, and a foul inside on Mike Banham. First foul on Banham, and Boston will go to the line with 2 seconds to shoot 1 in the penalty. Now,
both teams, the coaches have cautioned John Havlicek there. He's played a few playoff games. Both coaches have cautioned their teams to get back on defense because both these teams can run a fast break. And so what the coaches are doing, they're getting these guys back. That's why you don't see any fast breaks. They're making sure they're back. There's no fast breaks. So this is why you're going to see both teams now will have to execute their plays.
So far, the game has been a bit higher scoring than many people anticipated. You know, when the Celtics have lost 7th games, they scored under 80 points. The 2 games they've lost in the 7th game encounter. One at home against New York when John Havlicek was injured. Another turnover, bad pass by Dawkins. And the other time, which was on the road at Philadelphia, 77. So the Celtics can tie it up with 2 seconds to play in the first period. Ainge. And that's it. No foul, no harm, no nothing. No numbers on the scoreboard. And the clock is expired for the first period of the ball game. And it is close. Philadelphia 30, Boston 28. Andrew Toney is the leading scorer. As you see, the top 5 so far in this Eastern Conference Final, and he's off to a good start with 14 points, the leading scorer by far in this game. He had 39 points, a career playoff high in Game 4, and earlier had 30 points in Game 2.
He's one of the few guys who can go out and get 14 points the first quarter and keep it up throughout the whole game.
Shooting's been pretty high for what these teams have shown. Philadelphia with a rebounding edge. Caldwell Jones deserves a lot of credit there, and the Sixers haven't been all that bad off the offensive glass either. Start of the second period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell. Bobby Jones in the lane, and Jones misses. Parish clears. Boston, and a whistle, Madden, and a loose ball foul has been called against Dawkins. 2 on Darryl Dawkins as he knocked McHale to the parquet floor, which has been the scene of so many memorable contests between these teams. 14 batters above championship for the Celtics, looking for number 15. They need to win this game to go against the Lakers, and it'll start Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern on CBS. Ainge against Toney. Parish getting position inside. Dawkins has 2 fouls. Parish may want to go against him. Going up against Parish. Parish hits.
That's a tough shot.
That's a tough thing to wear. We have our 4th tie of the ball game. Ainge is on
seeing good defense, good execution of the plays, because
Dawkins shooting over Parish, missed everything. Bird had it on his head, and Mike Banham misses the layup. Here come the Celtics. McHale, and now they go the other way. Dawkins finds a guard. Toney, fake on Henderson. Bobby Jones inside. McHale commits the foul. Not with the hand, but the elbow. And the Celtics, McHale, has the personal foul, his 2nd of the ball game.
well, you had the big guy dribbling the ball out the court, and that's always a dangerous thing. When I saw the Robert Parish taking more than one dribble, I knew they had a problem.
And then Dawkins said, please, will a guard come into my view?
Immediately, if not sooner.
Bobby Jones has missed only his 3rd free throw in this series.
And I think that right now, all of the pregame atmosphere is lost to the players now.
They don't hear the crowd.
They're into the game now.
They don't hear
and
the
it takes sometimes anywhere from 4 minutes to a quarter and a half sometimes to really get into the game where the atmosphere is different.
Henderson, they tried that pass and he lost the ball, and Toney picks it up. Andrew Toney in the corner. Clint Richardson blocked by McHale, taken down by Ainge. McHale with another block shot. 3-on-1 break, and Larry Bird. 8 points for Larry Bird. And the Celtics lead it 32-31.
That came up an outstanding defensive play by Kevin McHale.
Toney comes right back to the baseline, and a loose ball foul against Bobby Jones. McHale had position, and Jones bumped it. 2 on Jones. Chris Ford, who is the cheerleader, off the bench in Game 6. Watch McHale with the block.
Here's Clint Richardson. There's the block right there. Then Ainge comes up with it and starts a fast break. Right there. Larry Bird, he knows what to do with it.
Almost
that was a very important exchange there. The last 2 down, because this may be crunch time in the game. Sometimes it comes early and sometimes it comes late. But
it gets there. With 3 seconds on the shot clock, Ainge way out of position. And a 3-second violation against Boston. It looks like
what happens, Dick, with the ebbs and flows of the game. One team be in sync and one team will be in sync, and they go back and forth. And sometimes the game's going to come down to a 1-point game. And it can be early where that 3-point swing or that 4-point swing can make a difference for the whole game.
Game 7 of the Boston-Philadelphia series, 32-31 Boston. Right now, the Sixers are even with the Celtics. What does that mean as far as Philadelphia is concerned? Is that good for them or not so good, do you think?
Well, at this point, it's not so good. They have to regroup now. When you talk about a 1 or 1-point ball game, and you say they have to regroup, but the last exchange, they came out behind in it, and I think they have to be careful.
Bobby Jones can't get inside to Dawkins as Parish was there. Cheeks picked up by Henderson. Henderson has improved tremendously defensively this year. Dawkins stuffs it through for 2. Keep in mind that Julius Erving still has not scored. He is 0 for 5 here in this period after shooting 50% in the first quarter. Philadelphia is 0 for 5, I should say, not Julius. The team is. Henderson, what a pass from Parish, and Henderson just didn't get in a good enough position, I guess, to get a good shot in there. Cheeks shuffles it to Bobby Jones. Philadelphia did regroup at least the last 2 times down.
Yes, they did, but that was an important basket that Gerald Henderson missed. He had been there so long that he was afraid of 3-point violations, so he was really out of position when he finally got the ball.
Julius Erving will come back and maybe get more in the scoring flow, and we'll have a foul again, and maybe on Dawkins. If it is, it'll be 3 on Darryl.
And the reason Daryl Dawkins picks up those fouls along the baseline like that because he pushes above the waist. And if you push from the waist, from the belt line down, you don't get as many of those fouls. Now here's he's holding right there, and with the hand above the waist. If he kept it below the waist, the referees just don't tend to call that.
Caldwell Jones comes in for Darryl Dawkins, who goes out with 3 personal fouls. He did not score. There's Caldwell Jones. He's watching Parish, who's playing the high post.
And they would rather not have Caldwell Jones guard Parish, because then he's not able to get the rebound because he's too far away from the basket.
Parish doesn't mind staying far away because he can go up with that outside shot, as he does there. He missed, and the rebound, Mike Banham. Erving runs into Henderson, and they call it on Henderson. Second for Gerald.
The referee didn't feel he gave him enough room to make that complete turn.
Even if you have position, you have to give the player the room on the turnaround. Larry Bird on the bench. He has scored 8 points, but he has been by far the best rebounder in this series. And also perhaps the leading playmaker on the Celtics, leading in steals too.
So you're saying he's playing pretty good ball?
Yeah. The thing is, people have said, we haven't heard much of Larry Bird. And that shows you how great he is, I guess, because he has had a tremendous series. 8:25 remaining in the first half. 3-point lead for Philadelphia. Caldwell Jones. Cheeks. Julius. Ainge picks up Erving, leaving Cheeks to Henderson. Cheeks shot. McHale hit. It's on Philadelphia.
Loose ball.
Well, McHale was there for the rebound and had his hand hit.
Now, McHale's an excellent rebounder. He's got good position there. He goes up, and he's surrounded by 3 guys. But he's a good rebounder. You notice he was right under that ball. And that's key position.
First foul on Julius Erving. Team fouls right now. Philadelphia 4 and Boston only 2 with under 8 minutes to play in the half. Danny Ainge, top of the key, is off the mark. Henderson there picks up the loose ball, finds Parish. 9 for Parish. He has averaged in this series 19 plus a game, the leading scorer for Boston. 10 rebounds.
And so far, Gerald Henderson has been a real factor in this game.
Julius and Maxwell going at it. Erving has not scored yet. And this will be a Boston foul. And it'll be on Maxwell, his second personal foul. So Henderson, McHale, and Maxwell have 2 for the Celtics. Bobby Jones and Cheeks have 2 for Philadelphia, and Dawkins 3. Here's Chris Ford, the veteran, 10-year veteran who was unsung with 4 for 5 shooting. Actually was 4 for 4 in the second quarter. Henderson playing a fine game, gets a breather. And a 20-second timeout is called for. Don't forget, we want to remind you that coming up soon, CBS News will have an update on the Falklands Islands crisis. The 20-second timeout has been charged to the Sixers.
Now, Dick, you're going to see quite a bit more of half-court basketball at an even slower pace than it's played now, I think, because these guys are getting down to making their plays work. Now, remember that when they call a play, everybody on the court knows the play and what it's designed to do. And then in order to make it work, you really have to execute and just force the issue. This is why things slow down.
Dick Stockton, Bill Russell, Boston Garden, Game 7, Philadelphia, Boston. They played Game 7 last year. Celtics won by 1 after trailing 3-1. They've come back from 3-1 in this year's series too. Julius Erving trying to get in the column, hits the outside shot. The doctor has hit just 45% from the field in this series. He's 1 for 5 in this game. His production has been down in all categories.
45% is not that bad when you consider he's being double teamed.
Right.
And their defense is keyed on him, and the more you play the guys, the more familiar they are with your plays, so that they will be more effective on you as the series goes by. So his shooting 45% is excellent shooting under those conditions.
Philadelphia now over the limit. That is their 15th foul, and the personal is on Clint Richardson. Danny Ainge will go to the line when we come back, and a timeout with 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the first half. It has been so tight, like a sardine can, and Philadelphia leading by 3. We're back at Boston Garden Live, Game 7, Philadelphia-Boston. Danny Ainge has just hit 2 free throws to bring the Celtics to within a point with 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Scoring has tapered off quite a bit after sort of a high-scoring first quarter. And Julius Erving going to the hoop, getting started now with 2 baskets, one outside and one inside. Trap defense by Philadelphia. What that does is make the Celtics use more of the clock and not have a chance to set up as the way they want.
And also, it takes their offense out, makes it start higher. And so the shot they get is not as easy a shot like that one.
Julius Erving on the break. 3 baskets now and a 5-point lead.
Now what they're doing is they're making Chris Ford bring the ball up, and they want Danny Ainge to bring it up.
Turnovers even. Philadelphia's biggest lead was 7 points. A foul as the ball rolls away. Celtics had a lead of 7-4. Not their biggest lead, I should say, early in the quarter. Danny Ainge is not playing now like a rookie. He had his troubles a week ago against Andrew Toney, and I guess all of the Celtics did as Bird comes back in the ball game. But Ainge has really gotten more under control. Defensively, he's been outstanding, and offensively has not been shy to take the shots.
Now what Philadelphia is trying to do is to throw the tempo off the Celtics more than anything, and the press is sort of when the forwards or the center comes out to get the ball, they have to come another step. That makes it a different play. When you're running the play, you get used to running it. There's so many steps to where you shoot, there's so many steps to where you set the pick, and these things change if you can force the ball outside.
You saw Andrew Toney back in the ball game. Parish went out with 9 points. Banham picked up the foul, his second. Ainge is 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Toney and Chris Ford. He's got the big edge and quickness on Chris. Chris has savvy on it. Double team and almost a steal by Ainge. Cheeks to Erving. Erving going up over McHale is well short. And Ainge lost it out of bounds. Philadelphia has the ball. 5:42 to go in the half. And a 3-point Philadelphia lead. It's been that close.
And Mike Banham had excellent position, so Danny Ainge had to hustle to keep him from getting control of that.
They have a full 24 seconds. Cheeks and Toney. And the Sixers going with 4 of the 5 men who started the game with Banham in for Bobby Jones. Banham lost the ball. Bird taps it out to Toney. 13 seconds on the shot clock and running. Julius guarded by Maxwell, doubled by Bird. Caldwell Jones over McHale with a good play.
Left-handed jump hook.
5-point lead now. He scored 22 points in the second game. But Philadelphia came back from a 40-point wipeout in game 1. How do you stop that?
You have to stop before he gets the ball.
All right. McHale with 7. Leading scorer for the Celtics is Parish with 9. Ainge and Bird each have 8. McHale has not missed in 3 attempts. Under 5 minutes to go, first half. 43-40 Philadelphia. Banham is playing high post. Caldwell Jones trying to keep Bird away at the other side. And we'll have a 3-second violation against the Sixers. Does his mother know he's wearing that outfit? Bobby Jones back in the ball game. He scored 8 first quarter points and has 11. And Banham goes out. Ainge bringing the ball up against Mo Cheeks. Rookie from Brigham Young. Taken on the second round. Philadelphia had to go to the Celtics had to go to the courts. Get him to give up that baseball. Wasn't that easy. Ford misses outside. Philadelphia has it. 4:29 to go in the first. Cedric Maxwell, the MVP in last year's playoffs in which the Celtics beat Houston in 6 to capture the world title. And we'll be with you starting Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern for Game 1 of the NBA Championship Finals. It'll be either here or in Philadelphia against the Lakers. 3-point attempt. Andrew Toney. Bobby Jones keeps it alive. Outside. Caldwell Jones misses. Ainge. 4 minutes to play. Steal, Toney. He's got Erving and Cheeks. Erving. Basket counts and a foul. Julius Erving. And good delay. And Philadelphia is playing a rouse ball. They have gone from the Hunter, which they were after 4 games, to the Hunted. After it's gone 3-3 with the Celtics. And so far it's been a quiet Boston Garden Court. The only raucous reaction we had was when they introduced the players.
Now here's Toney going. Maxwell's going for the block. So he made sure he committed. And there's the foul on Ainge. what Toney did was good. He made Maxwell commit, because if he didn't go for the block, then he would have had the layup.
Bill, it didn't look like that was a bad attempt by Ainge to stop Erving.
Well, you have to try that, but with Erving has such control with that ball around the basket, he knows what he's doing, that if you hit him, he could probably put it in with his elbow.
Speaking of the guy that can put it in with his elbow, the Doc has 9 points this quarter. Under 4 minutes to play. Maxwell going in, and has his chance for a 3-point play. And Caldwell Jones was right with him, and the foul is on him.
And that's one of the things you give up when you full-court press, is because you have to double team, and then the other 2 guys in the front court have to zone. And if a team attacks the zone the way they should, they go to the basket. And Maxwell did a good job, and that's the reason for that foul on Caldwell Jones.
And that's the first basket of the game for Cedric Maxwell, who's averaging over 13. And he has been more to the point than any of the Celtics in analyzing this series. He said confidence is a thing that's not really working for Philadelphia. He said no one wanted to shoot in Game 6. Henderson lost it, or a foul is on Henderson, his 3rd foul, which is even worse for Boston. He was pushing off Maurice Cheeks. And team fouls are 5 and 5, and so that also will result in a chance for one in the penalty. And going to the line will be Bobby Jones. The last man you want to see on the line, but I guess the exception of Caldwell Jones. There you see behind Billy Cunningham a look at 2 coaches, one upset, the one closer to you, Bill Fitch, 3:49 to go in the half. Jones has 12. Toney with 14, the high score in the game. No Celtic is in doubles yet. Parish with 9. Ainge and Bird each with 8. Dawkins and Henderson, the only players with 3 personal fouls. 6-point lead. Biggest lead of the ball game has been the Sixers at 21-14. That was a 7-point pull. Henderson's played extremely well in place of the injured Tiny Archibald, the team's quarterback. Chris Ford. Double team on McHale, Cheeks the guard, and Caldwell Jones. They don't mind if the Celtics beat him with the perimeter shot, but now Boston is having trouble getting any kind of shot.
Because Philadelphia is playing good defense. They're playing good defense out on the floor. They're playing what you call defense with their feet. That means they're moving their bodies in place. They're not reaching and grabbing. They're moving their feet to get to places.
They're executing their game plan so well as Philadelphia commits the foul at the other end, or check that, Boston make it. Bird, his 2nd personal foul. Keep in mind, Game 6 in Philadelphia, the Sixers had a 15-point lead early. And in fact, at one point, had a 5-point lead before the Celtics made their late run. Celtics are always hanging around making that last run.
At this point, the way the Sixers are playing and the attitude out there is they're in pretty good shape, because they're getting an edge and they're capitalizing on it in terms of points. They're putting points on the board. In the game Friday night.
I can explain this, Bill. I've done it once already this year. Finish your point, though.
Is that in Friday night's game, Philadelphia had a lead, and they played well. You look up, and they're 6 points ahead. And now they're playing just a little better than even, but they've been able to translate that to points on the board.
The thing that fell off the basket is for the rim, the new way the rim protects people from getting hurt. 49-42 to score. We're here in the 2nd period, and there's a piece of plastic on the new rims that prevent a player from getting their finger caught. Here's how it happened. Kevin McHale went up, and you're going to, I think, see in your picture that plastic object. There it is, coming right down. Nice catch, or he might have dropped it for a turnover. In any event, they've got to get that plastic thing wedged in again so that a player with the new rims, see, they give. They give when you pull them down, as you will see, I think. And a player could get his hand really hurt if he got his hand between the rim and the backboard. That's the story, and it happened to us. It happened in a game we telecast recently in Milwaukee also. You know, I was going to make a point, Bill. We started out, and wherever you read, talk to anyone, they said that there's no way Philadelphia can win this game. I mean, it was just a you know, it was just a matter of time for Boston to wrap it up. They got to Game 7 and they'd win it. That's what people said. That's not what we said. In fact, Bill said the pressure's on the Celtics. This has been such a quiet arena. How many of these people, Bill, do you think, and watching, think Philadelphia has any kind of chance of winning this game?
There are a few that have their doubts now.
And, you know, that's not to take away the Boston Celtics, because you wonder how many clubs can come back from a 3-1 deficit against a great club like Philadelphia. And they are a great team. The last 5 years, they've been the winningest team in the league to create the 7th game. This is a championship ball club, the Celtic team. They have tremendous pride. They are aggressive. And, of course, they have that killer instinct, too, I think.
And I think that you can sense a sense of relaxation on the part of the 76ers. At least I think I can see it. They are not tense at this point.
Bobby Jones on the line. He's 6 for 7, 24 out of 27 in the series. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, our rebound feature is with the Big E, Elvin Hayes, and the special feature on the Pepsi Hot Shot competition. The biggest lead of the ball game for Philadelphia right now is 8 points with 3:13 to go in the half. Larry Bird inside. Maxwell against Julius. Off the rim, and Maxwell still fighting for it, but he stepped on the line. Madden was right there, and it's going to be Philadelphia ball. So you like the Sixers position right at this time.
Right at this time. Now, but you got to remember that the tempo in this game can change so quick and sometimes ever so subtly that you don't notice it for a few minutes. There are going to be a few other changes. It's going to be, now it's who has the best exchange. Who comes out ahead in these exchanges?
Bo Cheeks with 8 seconds on the shot clock misses. Maxwell has the rebound. 2:40 remaining, first half. And a foul by Cheeks. That's number 3, I believe, on Mo. It is 3 on Cheeks, and Larry Bird will go to the line and shoot 1 in the penalty. We have a timeout now to bring you up to date. 2:38 remaining in the half. It's an 8-point lead for Philadelphia, 50-42, and I think I want to go more on that point you just said. When I saw the Sixers practicing, you know, it's easy for Billy Cunningham to say, look, just you have nothing to lose in this game. Just go out and play, and maybe if you're relaxed, you can do it. And, of course, the thing is that, you know, it's tough to be relaxed in this situation. But they look like they are right now.
Yes, the thing that you have to be, that a coach has to get over to his players is to be relaxed but alert. See, some people think that when you are relaxed, you're taking it easy. You relax the body, but keep the mind alert. And that's the way you execute. That's the way you can tell your body what to do in response.
You know, in the last game, a lot of people thought that Philadelphia came out in too much of an emotional state.
I thought they did. I thought they started too quick. And as I said, what happens to you when you come out too quick? Each player is like an automobile. He has a tank of gas. And if you come out and you race off the line, like it's a sprint race and you end up in unit 500, you might run out of gas before you get to the end of the game.
If it's like one of your cars, he has a big tank of gas. Senator Edward M. Kennedy of Massachusetts here at the game.
He has been a Celtic fan for so long you can't believe it. When I was a rookie, he was a Celtic fan. And that's a long time ago, Dick.
Robert Parish is back in the ball game. Parish with 9 points right now is the leading scorer for the Celtics as Ford talks things over with him. And Larry Bird will be going on the line. Look at Parish is really leading everyone in block shots. No one is close to him. And during the regular year, Parish was 5th in the league in block shots.
They call him the Big Chief here. And, you know, when they introduce him, you hear this noise. What is that? They're saying Chief.
Chief. Okay. Bird misses the free throw. He was 5th in the league from the line during the regular year. 72% in the series. 1 out of 2 for Larry. 2:35 to go. And when you talk about the players that want the ball and say, I want to win it, Larry Bird, his history proves that he's one of those people. 2.5 minutes to play, first half. Caldwell Jones wheeling around. Good screen by Bobby Jones. The bank shot fails by Julius Erving. And the Celtics trailing by 7 now.
Now, you notice a lot of times you see Larry Bird bring the ball up. He's dribbled with his left hand. And the reason for that is that he can pick it up and make the right-hand pass so much quicker if he sees an opening.
9 points for McHale, who's 4 for 4. He's off to a good offensive start here. Toney is trapped by Bird and Ford, looking for help. Gets it to Jones. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Julius Erving fires it up. Offensive foul. Erving was just so frustrated by the amazing defense of Kevin McHale that he had to use his hand to knock him away, and that's 2 on Erving.
Well, McHale's got those long arms, and so he really makes a psychological barrier as much as a physical barrier, but it's a legitimate physical barrier. Plus, they double team so that Julius can't go to his right the way he would like to go.
Henderson to McHale. Loop it into Henderson, off his hands, Philadelphia ball. And when you talk about McHale on defense, he says, all I want to do is let them know that I'm there. Let them know that Kevin McHale is there, and that can do a lot of things, of course, as you know, when you were blocking all those shots for the Celtics in your heyday. Philadelphia by 5, nearing a minute and a half to go first half. Toney against Ford, banks it in. He's so quick. Andrew Toney, 16 points.
Now that was some shot, because Chris Ford played good defense on that play.
First bucket by Toney here in this second period. Bobby Jones is 15. Toney with 16. 7-point lead. Larry Bird baseline air ball, but there's Parish at the other side. Bird keeps it alive, and Caldwell Jones aggressive. Snatched the ball away from Parish. Billy Cunningham, like nothing more than to surprise everybody and win this 7th game on Boston's home floor. But that is not going to be easy. Ford looked at Darryl Garrettson. He said Toney should be committed for an offensive foul. Bobby Jones on the drive. Rebound Parish. That's what he was doing with 5 fouls in game 6 in the 4th quarter. 7-point lead. Parish going to the hoop. Parish with 11 now. He has been tremendous. Many people think that Robert Parish should be the most valuable player in the league. And those who feel that way could give you a lot of substantiations in their argument. 20 seconds to go. 11 on the shot clock. Fitch kneeling down in the familiar spot. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Julius Erving blocked by Bird, and they won't get the shot off. Oh, no, sorry, they will. 5 seconds to go. McHale pulls up. Bird. The basket counts. Goaltending against Philadelphia. Jack Madden. Goaltending against Philadelphia, and the Celtics walk off the court getting the 2 they like. 52-49.
And that was an extremely important basket.
Bird gets credit.
So here's the shot by Kevin McHale that comes off. There's Bird with the rebound. He throws it up. It bounces around, and there's Caldwell Jones. It looked like it might have been over the cylinder.
As you take a look at the shooting with a slight edge to Philadelphia. I'm sorry, to Boston, 45-43, and you see how close the rest of it is. Top scorer in the ball game, Andrew Toney with 16 on 6 for 10 shooting. Bobby Jones 4 for 7, so they're getting good shooting from those 2. Julius Erving has been struggling from the field. Parish and Bird each with 11 so far, and that's what's going on. All right, Bill, your thoughts?
Well, I thought that Philadelphia kind of let, or at least I should say Boston took themselves off the hook a little bit. They closed pretty strong at the end of the first half, and to get back within 3 points. And because with about 3 minutes to go, they were down by 8, and Philadelphia's in pretty good shape. But Boston kind of dug themselves out of a hole real quick there. That's why that last point was so important.
People talk about the series similarity to last year. How about this game? Last year, Philadelphia had an 11-point lead. The Celtics cut it to 53-48 at the half. And it's 52-49 right here. We have a Boston foul, and the personal foul is on Gerald Henderson, number 4 on Jerry. So we're going to try and chart this similarity. Last year, the Celtics ultimately won 91-90, but so far it's scary how close it's been to the events. Andrew Toney guarded by ML Carr. Henderson is on Cheeks, and we have another foul. 2 fouls against the Celtics off the top here. That one is on ML Carr, number 2 on Carr.
And he hit him before he took the shot, so it's a non-shooting foul. And Billy Cunningham is hoping for a continuation call.
Toney, who started this series and the Milwaukee series in place of Lionel Hollins, who had a broken finger, and Maurice Cheeks starts out. As we've said in previous games, if Cheeks is aggressive on offense, Philadelphia is in good shape, and Parish usually holds the key for Boston.
Now, Cheeks made that shot, but they were standing around a little too much before that shot was taken.
Steal by Mo Cheeks. Beating Henderson to the hoop.
And Henderson couldn't foul him because he had 4 fouls already.
One guy's taking a breather, and the other guy's wondering why. And Fitch has a few words for Cedric Maxwell. Philadelphia picking up Boston outside. Going to the hoop is Maxwell, and Julius Erving may have grabbed him, but let's wait. It is on Erving. 3 on Julius. First team foul on Philadelphia. Erving is shooting well below 17 compared to 24 points in the regular season. His rebounding percentage is slightly up, but shooting-wise from the line and the field down. But don't forget, he's been double-teamed, as Bill mentioned. He is during the regular season, but it's a little different here. ML Carr, short. Parish, follow-up misses. Bird. Well, this means so much to Boston. They have a loose ball foul against Philadelphia, and there's an example of how Boston, relentless off the offensive board, continues to pound away. And the personal foul on the Sixers is against Bobby Jones, his 3rd foul.
And the first 6 minutes of the second half are really key in a ball game this close. You can't let anybody pull away too far, and Boston has to be careful now. Philadelphia's picked up a pretty good lead.
4 fouls in the first minute and a half. Erving blocks it. Here comes Cheeks, a 3-on-1. Maurice Cheeks to Julius Erving. Smooth as silk for Julius.
And that's where the Sixers usually run their break, is off of turnovers, steals, and block shots. More than rebounds even. When most teams get their fast breaks, will be generated off of defensive rebounds and good outlet pass.
And the Philadelphia 76ers, after letting Boston off the hook perhaps, now have opened up their biggest lead of the ball game, 9, with 10:17 to play in the 3rd. You know, we do start some of our crew early. Nothing like experience, and he's getting his. He says, I don't like this 9-point lead that Philadelphia has, Mom. So the Celtics are out to do something about it. And a turnover for Philadelphia with 6 straight points this period. The Celtics have not scored yet, with 2 minutes gone by just about in this 3rd period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell from Boston Garden. Bobby Jones, Julius. Caldwell Jones is roaming inside. Julius against Maxwell. Erving with 11 points. Bobby Jones, Cheeks, and they're going to call 3 seconds against Philadelphia. You know, I don't think Boston is surprised at the way Philadelphia is playing, but maybe the crowd is a little bit.
Well, maybe the crowd, but I don't think everyone is really surprised. Because when you come to the 7th game tied at 3 games apiece, you didn't get there because you're a bad ball club.
Anderson misses. Parish goes up without the ball, and Toney drives and starts going down the court without the ball. And Maxwell burns it. Toney ran without the ball, and Maxwell with only his 2nd field goal of the game, now with 5. Crowd getting turned up a notch or 2. Bobby Jones going to the hoop. Bird, 2-on-1. Carr has Henderson. Bird the trailer. 13 for Bird. Commissioner O'Brien.
He really looks excited about this, huh?
Well, he can't root for anyone. Inside to Julius. Blocked. Rejected out of bounds by Parish. And this crowd is really going now. And the cheerleader, the designated cheerleader, Chris Ford.
Well, Julius has pretty good position there, but let's start over.
25 block shots, and Julius Erving hits the jump shot. 8:40 remaining, 3rd period, and Philadelphia is up by 7.
That was a good block, but if Parish had kept it in play, they might have come up with the ball, so that Julius would have had another chance there.
Rebound on Carr's miss by Erving.
He's 3-on-2, fast break here.
And he's got Toney, and Cheeks goes up and goes to the hoop for the bucket. Carr went up against him, no foul, and Maurice Cheeks has 10 points in the ball game. 4 Philadelphia players in double figures, led by Toney with 16. Once again, a 9-point lead. Matches the biggest of the game for the Sixers. Cheeks in the last 3. Parish over Caldwell Jones. Great defense by Jones, but Bird is there for the follow-up, and he'll go to the line.
And we've seen more fast breaks these last few minutes than the whole game, whole first half almost.
Bobby Jones has 4 fouls, and that could be trouble for Philadelphia.
Now here's Bird he's got a good position there, and Bobby Jones is underneath him. And that's what they're calling him for, being underneath.
And now Mike Bantam is going to come in the game for Bobby Jones, who goes out with those 4 fouls and 15 points. Mike Bantam coming into the ball game, and he's there for rebounding and defense, and anything he does on offense is gravy. Bird misses the free throw. He has 13 points in the ball game. He was the hero last year in the 7th game with that impressive bank shot that iced it.
He hasn't been shooting well today.
He has not really been shooting well that much in the series, as Red Auerbach, who has been on the bench for many of those championships. All but 2, actually, all but 4. Toney, foul on Henderson. If it's on Henderson, it'll be on 5, but let's wait. It is Gerald Henderson with 5 fouls. So Danny Ainge now comes into the ball game. Henderson goes out with 5 fouls, and Danny Ainge now is going to have to assume a commanding role in this ball game. 7:45 to go in the 3rd. 8-point lead, and a foul. Maxwell on the elbow. 3rd on Maxwell. 4th team foul on the Celtics, and Julius Erving will shoot.
Here's that play again. Julius goes up. Couldn't see the hit. I couldn't hear it either.
You didn't hear bone hitting bone. The Celtics have won 11 of 13 7th games in their illustrious history. They've won 8 out of 9 at the Garden, losing only to the New York Knicks in 1973. They came back from 3-1 in that series to tie it up before they lost, and John Havlicek was winged a little bit in that one. Biggest lead right now, 10 points for the Sixers. Parish setting screen up on top. Bird against Banham. Banham likes to guard Larry Bird. And a foul on Toney. And he goes after, in the frustration, swiping the ball from Carr.
This game is
picking up
a bit more physical than some of the previous games.
Harry Mangurian to the right of Red Auerbach, the Celtics owner. They have had a long line of owners, and Red Auerbach has been the one standing personality. A lot of time on the clock. Carr going to the hoop. Larry Bird gets the layup. Good execution. Bird waited at the baseline and cut in. He has 16 points to lead the Celtics and match with Toney. Match tied for the scoring lead in the game.
With both these teams, when you get penetration, you can hurt them because they play the way they play the switching zones, and they try to disguise the zones so much so that if you get penetration, you will get a man open.
Andrew Toney picks up 2 quick ones, and one of the big worries of Billy Cunningham is Toney getting into foul trouble. He is not really in foul trouble yet, but he has 3 personals in the game, and the Celtics, or the Sixers, are over the limit. That's their 5th team foul. Boston has 4, and so they're going to go to the line, Bird specifically, to shoot 1 in the penalty. Foul Story. Henderson with 5, Bobby Jones with 4, and a bunch with 3.
And that's one of the things that determines who plays. That's one of the key things. Fatigue and foul trouble are the key things. And like a coach would like to play certain guys at a certain time, but he's not able to all the time because the differences in stamina and the difference in foul trouble. Because some guys get tired quicker than the others, and you can't get the combination you want because you have to rest guys at different times. So this is one of the things the coach has to look ahead for.
So when you see a player who you figured should have played more doesn't, there are reasons for that.
Oh yeah, the coach at this point knows the team very well. He knows his guys.
They changed the foul from Toney to Mike Banham. So Toney still has 2, and Banham now has 3 personal fouls. Under 7 minutes to go, 3rd period. Toney having trouble with the dribble, they trap him. Julius finding Banham. Banham was open, but he has lost his confidence in the shot. I hate to repeat it so many times. Rejection. Danny Ainge picks it up. Block shot was Parish's. And the basket. And the Celtics are trailing by 4. They were down by 10 points. ML Carr got the bucket, and there he is. Julius Erving said we'll have to play near-perfect basketball to win. I don't know if they're near-perfect, but they're playing well. Is this one of the moments of truth in this game, Bill?
Yes, it has to be. You know, the Sixers are playing well. They look up, they got a 10-point lead. They look up a half a minute later, and it's 4 points. So they got it worried just a little bit.
Keep in mind, the Sixers had an 11-point lead last year in the 7th game, and then Boston came back to cut it to 4. And that's what it is right now, believe it or not. Toney, shot, block. Parish comes up with it. It could be 2 here. Nearly halfway through this 3rd period. Larry Bird, who likes the ball, no basket. No basket. The foul was before the shot, but he'll go to the line to shoot 1 in the penalty and then anyway. And Bill, that comment you made should be repeated. We should put the carbon paper on it because this is one of those moments, 64-60, mark it down, where Boston is starting a surge, and how Philadelphia reacts could determine the story of this game. Bantam picked up his 4th personal foul. Philadelphia already over the limit. The Celtics with 14 fouls, 6:05 to go in the 3rd period. And a 2-point game. And 20 for Larry. 8 in a row for the Celtics. They make a habit of this kind of ball. Toney. Sixers have been in this position before. And Toney hits a jump shot, has 18 points. Here comes Ainge, loops it to Maxwell and out of bounds. Over Maxwell, turning it over. And Fitch yells something to Danny Ainge.
That was not a good play. Now, Ainge is trying to make the play, and you've got to do that. But the percentages were not with him on that play. On that play, if you got to throw a perfect pass, don't try it. Set up and see what you can get because they're in foul trouble anyway.
Keep in mind that Henderson is on the bench with 5 fouls. Carr and Ainge are the guards, with Ainge the role of point guard. Bird is on Bantam. Not been a scoring threat for a long time. Cheeks wheel it around to Erving. Ainge double teams. Cheeks is open. And Mo hits the shot. So the 2 guards, Toney and Cheeks, have hit key baskets here. And Philadelphia opens it up to 6 again. 5:15 to go. And Ainge barely gets it across. And throws it away again. 2 turnovers by Danny Ainge in succession. And Bill Fitch biting on that towel, taking a walk along the bench. The turnover story. 5 minutes to play in the 3rd. Game is simmering here. Cheeks. Game 7. 1-game season for one of these clubs. The loser goes home. The winner goes to the championship round. Julius Erving misses the bank, but Mike Bantam is in there for the follow. Big offensive rebound and hoop for Mike Bantam. And an 8-point lead, and Bill Fitch will call timeout. And if you wanted Philadelphia's reaction to a 64-60 lead and the Celtics coming on, you saw it right here. Timeout. Friends, CBS is the place for live sports, whatever you like. And Thursday night, Game 1 of the NBA Championship. The Los Angeles Lakers waiting in the wings to play either the Sixers or the Celtics in Philadelphia or Boston beginning 9 Eastern time.
Now, there were 2 key turnovers. But that's what happens when you have rookies in a key situation. They'll make some mistakes, but they most of the time they make up for it with hustle.
Parish turnaround shot in and out. Bantam fights, loses the ball, and is put up by ML Carr. Clutch rebound by Carr. So Philadelphia had scored 6 in a row before that bucket. Yeah, you're right about Danny Ainge, but Ainge has probably played better than anyone expected in this tough role with Toney out of there. Toney hits from the baseline, so it looks as if Toney's not shy with the shot right now. 20 points.
He's playing a little better than he played Friday night, I can tell you that.
I would think. 1 for 11 in the game, 0 for 4 in the second half, and 3 points. He has scored well against Boston. Listen to Cunningham. Check out. Carr misses. Parish comes roaring in and is fouled. Caldwell Jones and Robert Parish may be the most important matchup in this ball game at this point as Ainge gets some on-the-job instruction from Bill Fitch.
Yeah, that's a key matchup in this game in particular. Caldwell Jones has to play well for Philadelphia to really be competitive with the good teams, and he's playing fairly well today. He's doing a good job on the defensive boards, and he's a real smart player too. You never hear those outstanding quotes and things from him, but he's a real smart player. And anyone that's associated with the Philadelphia team will tell you that.
Parish now with 13 points. Toney from the corner hits again. Well, he is on the mark. Andrew Toney, 22 points, the leading scorer in the game. Bird has 20, and Andrews 9 for 14 from the field. Danny Ainge with Bird up top. Parish inside in the crowd. What a play by Robert Parish. He can hit from outside, go inside, block shots, you name it. Robert Parish has emerged as an outstanding center this season. 3:14 remaining, third period. 6-point Philadelphia lead. Biggest lead in the game was 10 by the Sixers with 7:40 to go this period. And Cheeks is hit, so the guards have kept them going.
Yeah, he's playing a little more aggressive. He's taking his shots. But what he does such a good job is run that offense and control the tempo for it.
10 points this period for Mo. Falls down guarding Ainge. Picked up nicely by Toney, and a foul. It'll be 1-on-1-and-1. Toney picked up Danny Ainge. Darryl Dawkins, who had 3 personal fouls early in the ball game, in the second period to be precise, comes back in, and Caldwell Jones goes out, giving Caldwell Jones a rest. And Clint Richardson will come in the ball game too. So this is what the chess game is all about with the coaches when you get to this level of the season. 2:56 remaining in the third. 76-68 Philadelphia. Will be back with more after this word from your local station. The preceding message was furnished by the National Basketball Association. That personal foul was on Cheeks, his fourth.
Now, Philadelphia made a substitution. They put in Darryl Dawkins and Clint Richardson. And I think the reason that Billy Cunningham put that combination in is because Dawkins is not as good a rebounder as Caldwell Jones. And Clint Richardson is the best rebounding guard they have. They put him in to balance it. Now, and Darryl Dawkins is a better shooter normally than he contributes more to the offense than Caldwell Jones, so that they can use a little less shooting from the guard position than Clint Richardson. So that combination give you a certain amount of firepower and rebounding strength.
1 of 2 for Danny Ainge. Clint Richardson, third offensive rebounding leader for Philadelphia, but the guards have done it here. Bantam. Erving, 6 seconds on the clock, blocked by Maxwell, and Max saves it. Here comes Carr. Look how he hustles ahead of the field. Max not to be denied. 5-point lead. Maxwell, 7 points, but somehow he's always there when you need him. His offense has improved tremendously. One of the best field goal percentage shooters around. Toney tried a reverse layup. And Philadelphia will have the ball as Bird traveled with it. 2:10 to go, third period. 76-71, Philadelphia leading. Bill Fitch, the only lead, or the biggest lead, I should say, the Celtics had was 7-4, 3-point lead. Very early, obviously. Ainge trying to take Richardson inside. Richardson trying to take Ainge inside, rather, and he's got him. Double team. Richardson goes up and gets a big hoop.
Inside.
He's 6'3", but plays much bigger. 7-point lead, 1:45 to go. What? Ainge, Bird, Bantam on him. Doesn't give Bird a chance. Goes low to Parish. Robert loops it. Rebound Erving. Toney has it, 1:28 remaining. Ainge is back on the D. Clint Richardson has a shot blocked by Robert Parish. And here comes Boston on the break, and tiptoeing at the other end is Erving. So the Boston break denied. Cunningham calls the play 5.
And again, they made a key turnover. They should have came up with something in that play.
7 Celtic turnovers this period. Bill Fitch says 16 is good for a game. They have 7 this period, and Toney runs in and draws the foul. It's the 5th team foul on the Celtics with 1:02 to go, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
And if he makes these 2 free throws, that's a 4-point swing. When they had 2 guys, they had a 2-on-1. If they made a good pass, good outlet pass, they came up empty. So they're missing 2, and the other team's picking up 2. So it's a 4-point swing if he makes both free throws.
Danny Ainge committed the foul, his third. And Toney misses a free throw. He has 22 points, the high score in the ball game. Larry Bird leads Boston with 20. 1 minute to go now in the third period. 8-point lead for Philadelphia. They had a lead going into the final period against the Celtics Friday night. The Celtics storm back. Somehow, you know, they always find a way to do that. Bird over Mike Bantam. Dawkins and Erving go up. They each fight for it.
That's never bad when you got two young.
I was going to say.
Two guys on the same team fighting for it. Unless they travel with it.
15 on the shot clock. Toney isolated against Carr. Ainge, you see, trying to come over and cheat over and double team. Richardson is inside, and now Bantam has position inside. Julius Erving from the corner. Baseline shot by the Doc has 17 points. 8 this period. He is 7 for 16 from the field. The clock winding down in the third period. Maxwell blocked by Julius Erving. Erving with the block shot, and 11 seconds to go. Philadelphia can open up their biggest lead. They've matched it right now at 10. 3 seconds. Julius, long-range bomb is good at the buzzer. And so we have the sounds of silence in Boston Garden after 3 periods of play. If you had to drag them out of the coffin, the Philadelphia 76ers are very much alive. They have a 12-point lead, 12 minutes to go in the 7th and deciding game. The Boston Celtics are going to have a shot at a second consecutive world title, something no one has done since the Celtics themselves turned the trick in '69. They're going to have to put on the power in this 4th and final period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell, a 12-point Philadelphia lead. Julius Erving and Mo Cheeks had 10 apiece. Toney 7, 27 of the 31 Sixer points from those 3, and they shot 61% in the 3rd period. Henderson with 5 fouls starts at guard. Bird triple teamed inside. Finds the open man Henderson. Steal by Erving. Julius has Clint Richardson, but takes it himself, and a foul.
And there they go. The doctor's out. You know, he started slow in terms of shooting. But that's the typical 76er fast break, is they get a good defensive play, and they try to capitalize on it right away.
I go back to the point you made, Bill, when there was a timeout at 64-60, when the Celtics were coming back strong. They got a bucket, and then the Sixers ran off 6 in a row to take an 8-point lead. They responded to the Celtic challenge then and have done more than that since that point. Now, Parish committed a second foul to send Julius to the line, and that's significant, but the Celtics have McHale in there, Maxwell, Parish, Henderson, and Bird. Bird, they have the people in the ball game now to do it, and Bird is playing the guard position. Biggest lead of the game right now, 14 points.
These are their big game people, the people that they depend on when they need a game.
And Bird is playing guard, and Andrew Toney is forced to guard Larry Bird. It'll be a 2-shot foul. Dawkins picks up number 4.
And if they're going to make a comeback, Robert Parish is going to have to hit those outside shots, because that's the way they open it up for McHale with the offensive boards, and to get Bird inside and Bird movement. Parish is the key. When he's making those shots, then that puts a real stress on the Philadelphia defense.
Andrew Toney has the unenviable assignment of watching Larry Bird, who's obviously going to post him up, which in basketball parlance, that means play close to the basket. 12-point lead, and Bird steals it from Toney. And Bird misses the shot. Clint Richardson knocked away by Bird. It's Philadelphia ball. Good call by Madden. He was there. So these are the crunch moments for Boston, a little earlier than usual. We have yet to complete a minute of the 4th period, but they're trailing by 12. Bird is out to watch Toney. Henderson is on Clint Richardson. Maxwell and Erving. Dawkins and Parish. Violation. They turn it over. Didn't quite see what it was. Boston has the ball. Turnover, and I'm not quite sure to this point what it was. All right, Maxwell. Bantam picks him up. Henderson has a screen from Parish. Gerald inside against Toney. Basket, good, and a foul. What a great play by Henderson, because he went body to body with Andrew Toney and put up a quick shot off the glass.
Now here's the shot.
3 fouls on Toney. And a 3-point play by Gerald Henderson, who was the 64th player picked by San Antonio in 1979. Minute and a half gone by, final period. 9-point lead for the Sixers. It was up by 14, 85-71 a moment ago. Dawkins hits from the corner. Darryl Dawkins has had his scoring days. He had 16 in Game 4 and 14 in Game 5. Henderson. Obviously, Gerald Henderson says, I'll take it. I'll take it to the hoop in this fourth period. He was a big man in Game 6 and has been playing outstanding defense since coming in for the injured Toney Archibald.
And he's going to have to try to do what Robert Parish did in Game 6, play with 5 fouls.
Parish went at the game aggressively. He said, if I'm foul out, I foul out. Julius against Maxwell. Foul, offense against Julius Erving, his 4th foul. And Julius knew it.
Now 76ers are going down the stretch, and they're starting to play one-on-one. Now they're bringing Maurice Cheeks in there, and maybe he can get them to rotate and move the ball around.
Timeout, 9:42. There's the story right there in front of you. Bobby Jones also back in the game for Philadelphia, and Bill Russell commented that Maurice Cheeks is in there for ball movement because the Sixers have been standing around. I guess you could say the same thing about Bobby Jones.
Well, what happens is when a team gets under stress, they revert to the basics, their own personality, so to speak. And they played a lot of one-on-one this year. And so under stress, they will go to that.
McHale working against Bantam. Good defensive player and a foul call. McHale will go to the line. We'll watch also team fouls. Philadelphia, that was their 3rd team foul. Boston has committed 1 with 9:27 to go, and the personal is Bantam's 5th foul. And coming in, Caldwell Jones. He's gotten a rest. He sat down. He has 6 points and 3 personal fouls, but the rebounding story, important for him, he has 5. It was really tough off the defensive board early. So Bantam sits down. He's done a good job tonight. McHale. Bantam had 6 rebounds, so to this point, he has more rebounds than Caldwell Jones. And when you talk about game players down the stretch, I'm not talking about the missed free throw. You're looking at the guy now who is a bona fide big play man, no question about it. He now has, well, I was going to say 10 points, but that rolled off 2. So he still has 9, missed them both. Cheeks coming back in. Andrew Toney over Maxwell. Basket counts and a foul. Andrew Toney hitting the shots, and he has been key for the Philadelphia 76ers, now at 25.
And every time the Celtics have made a strong run at the Sixers, they've been up to the test so far.
Maxwell, personal foul number 4 on Cedric, and the 2nd team foul on the Celtics. 9:19 on the clock, and that's loads of time. Andrew, the 3-point play. He said after game number 6, I felt I let the team down. I don't remember feeling as bad. He was 1 for 11. He's got to feel better now. Henderson out to Parish, but it all won't mean a thing unless Philadelphia wins. The Celtics awfully tough inside, and a Philadelphia foul, team number 4. Bird and Toney. That's the matchup right here.
And they're getting to know each other. Save the last dance for me.
Foul on Andrew is his 4th. 12-point Philadelphia lead. Henderson with a good screen by Bird. Goes in, blocked away. McHale knocks Bobby Jones down. Parish. Short. Caldwell Jones with his 6th rebound. And here's Mo Cheeks. 3-on-2 break. And it's Darryl Dawkins with the stuff shot. McHale slow getting up. Bobby Jones also tasted some of the parquet floor. Believe me, when those two went at it.
It looks like he might have heard something.
Yeah, he's hurt. McHale crouched over. 8.5 remaining. Parish hook shot, but is fouled. And that'll be the 5th team foul on Philadelphia. Now he'll go to the line, and Dawkins has his 5th foul. Here's Rick Roby coming into the game for the first time. Rick Roby, who was the hero of game 1 with 19 points. And of course, a lot of people think he could be playing his ball elsewhere next year. Doc comes in as well because his option year is up.
That's kind of early in the year to start talking about what the guy's going to do next year, I would think.
Well, I don't think he's not talking about it, but other observers are.
Now they put him in there for Maxwell so that they can bang the boards a little harder, because the key for the Celtics has got to be rebounding at this point, because they've got to make sure that Philadelphia only gets 1 and they've got to get 2 or 3. When you're catching up, you got to make sure that.
Parish
trying to catch up, that is.
Parish 19, Bird has 20. Toney with that move to the hoop. This is the bank shot. Caldwell Jones saves it. Look at Roby going after that loose ball. This is it. Nowhere else to look. The one-game season goes on, and Roby or McHale gets the rebound to Henderson. Nearly 8 minutes to go. Roby down the middle like a runaway express train, and Caldwell Jones has Parish and Bird in his face, and Bird still hawking the ball. 12-point Philadelphia lead, thanks to the shooting of Andrew Toney, who has 26 points. Down 28.
Come on!
The coaches. This could be the 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and it could be the last 7:40 of the season from one of these players. And we will have offense against Boston. Offensive foul against the Celtics. And it's against Larry Bird, 3 on Larry. The team foul situation, by the way, Celtics have 2. That did not count as a team foul, and Philadelphia has been over the limit for a while. And so the substitutions have paid off, I think, with Caldwell Jones off the glass, Cheeks controlling the ball, and Bobby Jones in the transition.
They got better ball movement, and when they get good ball movement, they're a good shooting club too.
Julius Erving, he has found his shooting eye from outside in this game. He has 23 points, and Fitch wants a timeout. And it's like the sand in the hourglass. A lot of time to go, a lot of sand to go. 7:19 to go, and it's a 16-point lead, the biggest lead of the game, and Boston's got to make a move. This half, Philadelphia scored 44 points. Erving, Toney, and Cheeks have 36 of that total. 7:10 to go, a 16-point lead. Danny Ainge. McHale, the offensive rebound. The big play man scores there off the glass, going straight up as he does. It's 14. 7 minutes to go, a lot of time.
And this is the same lineup that Boston used when they came back within 2 of game number 3. I believe.
That's right. And McHale was a key man off the boards in that one. He just got a defensive rebound there. Henderson against Cheeks. Roby. Almost a steal by Toney. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Ainge trying to get free. Look at McHale. He is determined. This is the shot, and Erving coming down with it. Philadelphia can't change the way they've been playing. Toney missed it, and Bird. Philadelphia didn't do as well as they should have when they had those 3 men. They looked kind of tentative. Henderson going down, gets 2 more back. And it's 12. Red Auerbach.
And what Boston has with this lineup is good quickness. They can put defensive pressure. They got good speed and have more than adequate firepower. So they got a good balance there. Although you wonder what a team without Robert Parish, who would be the key guy. Well, in these circumstances, that's why they're not playing him.
All right, less than 6 minutes to go in the 4th period, and I think that's a good point, Bill, because people will say, hey, here's Robert Parish, who could be the MVP in the league. Erving, what a pass and what a play. Julius Erving, who gets the bucket. But the point is, sometimes combinations work better even without some key people, and Parish is on the bench now. And a Philadelphia foul inside. Watch the pass to Julius here. Must have been Toney. Yeah, that was Andrew who made the pass to Julius. And coming up, we're going to start talking about the team you will see beginning Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. 5 fouls on Mo Cheeks as Henderson is at the line, and that's Michael Cooper, the Los Angeles Lakers, who have been sitting around, working out, getting honed up for the World Championship Finals. Here's John Havlicek, and of course the Lakers, a star-studded outfit, have swept their 2 series so far.
Now the Celtics are putting a full court pressure.
Henderson with 12. Ainge all over Toney. Toney going up anyway. Hits the shot. And you know what? Some people say that when he's on the mark, he's unstoppable. He has 30 points in the game and a 15-point Philadelphia lead. 12 for 20 from the field for Andrew Toney. McHale inside. Blocked inside by Bobby Jones, who saves it to Caldwell. And Cheeks in Philadelphia gaining confidence by the second here. Andrew Toney inside with a back shot. And Philadelphia is coming on, and now timeout. The greatest sound is silence if you're a visiting club, and they shouldn't celebrate too early, this club, because 5:08 to go. They're playing the world champions, the defending champs. But I'll tell you right now, it's 102-85, and it doesn't look bad for Philadelphia.
Not at all.
Well, you can forget about those 34% shooting games for Philadelphia. They're 63% this half after hitting only 3 field goals in the last period. And the one thing that impresses me about the Sixers is that they have not been sitting on their lead. They're still playing their game, and they haven't used the clock yet.
That happens to a lot of teams. They'll get a lead, and they'll say, okay, that's a safe lead. And then they'll go away from how they got the lead. And what you want to do is modify it, but not really change it, not go to possession ball.
Larry Bird looping into McHale, baseline. Julius picks him up, and McHale in and out. Parish tries for the follow-up shot, and it's still Boston ball.
And they've gone back to Parish in there. I thought maybe that Fitch was going to stay with that lineup, but he's not taking. He knows a heck of a lot more about these guys than I do. I can tell you that. And you know, when you talk about what a coach is doing and why he's doing it, he has to know these guys so well and who's going to respond and how they're going to respond, because that determines what combinations he puts out there. Who will be willing to take the shot, who's going to take care of the defensive job, who's going to take care of the boards. But the personalities become more and more important as you get down the stretch.
Don't forget Game 1 Thursday night of the World Championship Finals. Bill and I will be there along with our resident guru Marty Aronoff, and we'll be either in Philadelphia or Boston. Ainge to Bird. Bird to Julius Erving, and Larry throws up an air ball, and Philadelphia looking stronger now with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Could Billy Cunningham get the monkey off this team's back? Henderson with a steal, but it's still Sixers ball, and Henderson's hurt. He hurt his right hip, it looks. But Ray Melchiori, the trainer, remains on the side. Henderson hangs in there. There, that's how it happened. Now, Erving going to the basket to get back to live action, and it's off the rim, no good. Steal by Richardson. Erving inside against Parish. Misses. Parish cleared. 4:18 on the clock. The Celtics need a lot of points. Ainge trying for 2. That's 2 points. He's inside. Ainge says to Madden, no, it's 3. Madden says, no, Danny, it was 2.
I think Madden's watching his feet.
102-87. You know, Ainge wanted 3. Toney going to the hoop. Bobby Jones baseline. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 15-point lead. Bobby Jones no good. And McHale to Henderson. Celtics coming back. Parish knocked away. And that was Andrew Toney who knocked the ball away from Parish. And Clint Richardson throws it away. Boston ball. 3:42 on the clock. Team fouls. Boston 3. Philadelphia over the limit, and there you see Boston with only 1 more timeout.
And what happened on that play is with Danny Ainge, Clint Richardson, guys that haven't played that much, they try to make big plays. And the guys like Toney Archibald just try to make the play. The young guys try to make the big play.
Henderson. Bird into Parish. 13-point lead. 3:20. Look at the Boston bench, how anxious it is. The Celtics really have to put on a Frank Merriwell effort here to win this game. Toney off the mark.
They've got to get it down with less than 2.
And a turnover, and that can kill you at this stage. Richardson to Julius. And they'll call a foul on Boston. On the elbow. Jack McMahon, the assistant coach, with Matt Gukas up.
And Ainge hit Toney with a punch.
McHale committed the foul on Erving. 3 fouls.
Let's see. Here's the play. There's the foul. And Toney hit him first. And so he says, don't do that.
This is a very significant game and has far-reaching effects for the Philadelphia franchise. Harold Katz, the owner, has threatened that if the Sixers don't win at all or don't come close, he may break up the team. The fans have been dissatisfied. This has been an outstanding team, keep in mind. 5 years, they've had the best winning percentage, but no titles. And there's always a possibility that a franchise could be moved. So this is maybe a franchise saver for Philadelphia. McHale inside, gets the 2. 13-point deficit under 3 minutes, but Boston has to get it closer than that. Toney controlling. He has scored 32 points in the ball game.
They're going to almost have to shut Philadelphia out the rest of the way.
And they did it almost last year in the last 5 minutes, 40 seconds. Just about what they did. Bobby Jones. No good, Bird. 2.5 to go now. Bird, McHale. McHale again. The basket counts and a foul and a big bucket by McHale. So Bird is doing a job off the glass. McHale the other way. And the Celtics trail by 11, can make it 10. And 2:25 is a lot of time. Philadelphia will use one of their 4 remaining timeouts. The Celtics have 1 timeout remaining, and that could be a factor as we get down to the end.
What Fitch will have to do is call 2 or 3 plays in 1 timeout.
That's the story. We go back to 64-60. Celtics were coming on. And Philadelphia responded. Opened up a 14-point lead with 11:40 to go. It was cut to 9. Then it was up to 16. The biggest lead with 7:19 to go. It was cut to 12, went up and down. And right now, it is 11 points with 2:25 remaining. And that's what's remaining, perhaps, for one of these teams for their season.
Now, if the Celtics can shut the Sixers down, the longer they go without a basket, the harder it will be to get one.
McHale will shoot. There's the Philadelphia bench. The Sixers have heard all kinds of abuse for blowing a 3-1 lead to get to the 7th game in the first place. McHale misses and Caldwell Jones clears, so it's still 11. The timeout story. Boston has 1 plus a 20. And Bobby Jones was held. It'll be a 2-shot foul. Jack Madden says 2-shot foul. Danny Ainge commits his 4th, and Bobby will go to the line to shoot 2. The Boston bench, anxious as they are, trying to win the 2nd consecutive world title, but they're not thinking about that right now. Not by a long shot. Bobby Jones. 16 for Bobby.
That is a very important free throw, because the more Philadelphia scores, the easier it is to score. Because pretty soon, real soon, Boston will have to get into trying to shoot 3-point shots, and they're going to be out of sync offensively because they're going to have to go to one-on-one and things that they don't normally do.
Winding down to 2 minutes to go, 4th period. Boston Garden, the Celtics in Philadelphia. Pick and roll, and McHale works fine. And McHale now with 17 coming off the bench. So Philadelphia with an 11-point lead and pressure all over the court. And Erving double team trapping. Ainge tries for the steal and commits the foul. And the Celtics with Ainge with 5 and going to the line will be Maurice Cheeks for 1 in the penalty.
Now the Sixers have to make their free throws. That's the key thing, because the Celtics have fouled them twice and they make the 2 free throws. That's just like getting a basket.
Maurice Cheeks on the line, and if you want to talk about what Philadelphia has done, they're 23 of 26 from the line today.
Well, they brought their shooting hats with them today, I can tell you that.
Cheeks has 2, under 2 minutes to play. Boston needs a bushel of points, and like you said, they've got to play shutout ball on the D. Parish going to the hoop, knocked away by Mo Cheeks, and a turnover. And ahead of the field is Andrew Toney, and the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be on their way to the World Championship Finals. It's a 15-point lead with 1:40 to play. And the Sixers can sense it. Henderson for 3, off the glass, and we'll have another chance at it. 1.5 minutes to go. Ainge working to get free. His 3-point attempt, no good. Parish will settle for 2. 1:20 to go. 13-point lead for Philadelphia, but they have the veterans on the floor right now. Bobby Jones. Cheeks. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 1:10. Billy Cunningham says, I'm tired about hearing last year. And we'll have a foul on Boston. That's the only thing they can do. Bird's fourth. But like you said, Bill, they've got to hit the free throws, and Julius on the line shooting one of the penalties. Here's the Philadelphia bench. The Sixers, and it was Maurice Cheeks who said, I feel bad right now, but maybe, just maybe, I'll feel better after Sunday's game. Julius hits the first. He has 28. Cunningham trying to get the attention of the two guards. And two free throws by Erving. And Philadelphia brilliant off the line, and they can sense it now. 112 to 97. 1 minute to go in the game. McHale gets two. And Philadelphia says, we'll trade baskets as long as we don't turn it over or miss free throw. And watch how Boston's going to defend him. Cheeks across the middle. Now you want to use the clock. And now they are. They are gaining respect, my friends, as McHale fouls Cheeks. When their own people said they couldn't do it, that they couldn't come back. They couldn't get a seventh game and win again. But they're proving otherwise. And what a dramatic moment this is for Billy Cunningham and the Philadelphia 76ers. Because a look at their faces after Game 6 told it all. But they have risen out of that coffin that Kevin McHale was talking about.
Every time that Boston's made Philadelphia, once they got the lead, every time Boston's made a run at them, they've been up to the task and they've responded.
And the biggest one, as you look at the Celtics, who are not going to get that chance to win a second world title, and Bill Fitch has to be the most unhappy of them all because he badly wanted a second chance at winning a title, and he has been a marvelous coach, winning 60 or more for 3 straight years. But sometimes it's out of your hands. Cheeks misses the free throw. 13-point lead. Ainge hits the three-pointer. 13-point lead, 43 seconds to go. They can't afford turnovers. Franklin Edwards is in the ball game, and Cheeks gets two. So Franklin Edwards, the rookie, comes in the ball game.
Easy, hold it. Use the clock.
Ball handler, the rookie from Cleveland State. McHale fouls with 30 seconds. Little too late. Robert Parish. And the Philadelphia bench, Earl Curitan's going in. They're taking their starting team out. Earl Curitan, and there's Larry Bird. And I'll tell you how great he is, because he has said it's the other guy that's played the great game. The other day he said it was Chris Ford. Never takes credit for things. But look at the Philadelphia bench. Bobby Jones and Billy C.
You remember how sad Billy looked after the game Friday night? Is that a change?
Franklin Edwards and Cedric Maxwell. You're looking at a class bunch, the ones in white and green, folks. They didn't win a championship last year for nothing. But the two best teams record-wise going at it, and Bill Fitch just has to swallow and take it here with 28 seconds to go. Ainge hits another three-pointer. But they just don't have...
I almost intercepted that one myself, Dick.
Boy,
I thought I'd let you take it.
I didn't touch it. And Roby. Our Miller most valuable player is going to be Julius Erving. Julius Erving is going to be our Miller most valuable player. $1,000 donation will be made to the Special Olympics on behalf of Julius Erving.
And you hear the crowd is chanting to the Sixers, beat L.A.
Beat L.A., that's great. Let's listen. Jim Harrington, executive producer. Michael Burks, our producer. Marvelous people in our production truck and the technicians. Sandy Grossman, our director, and the rest of them. Joan Vetrano celebrating another birthday.
Oh, that was unduly harsh.
Well, Eric Fernston hits the free throw. Philadelphia 76ers said you can win anywhere if you play well, and they have played well today. Give them credit. It'll be LA and Philadelphia. Game 1, Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. 2 years ago, these two teams met, and the Lakers won in 6 games. And so Philadelphia done everything but win a world title in the last 5 years. Will have that opportunity starting Thursday night. And that's going to be it. The Philadelphia 76ers are in the dressing room on their way. They have won the Eastern Conference Championship, 120-106 in a shocker over the Boston Celtics in a game that no one thought the Sixers could win. No one, with the possible exception of the Sixer players themselves.
Yeah, I went in the dressing room before the game, and you know, when you talk about tension, there wasn't any in there. I talked to a few of the guys briefly, and they weren't quite this relaxed, but they were pretty relaxed.
Tremendous effort by the Philadelphia 76ers, the Eastern Conference champions. There's Harold Cass, their owner. This is Dick Stockton for Bill Russell saying so long. Final score, 120-106.